Welcome to HDPP Live on a Wednesday night to the UK and around the world with photos, memories and friends. This is HDPP Live. How are you this evening? Are you all well?
Hinckley District past and present for you, meeting friends old and new. Streaming Wednesdays and Saturdays too, with founder members Paul and Sue. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Film clips, photos, memories and friends helps a dreary night go by. Wearing Hinckley's six of the best, stupendous quizzical high. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Let's take you back in time. A community affair. We'll take you for a ride. Handsome's cab will take you there. We're making history. HDPP, chapter applauses. History alive. Local causes. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Betty is our queen bee. The sweetest honey candy. Dangerous dead, here again. HDPP live. Hey, you know we keep it in HDPP.
Good evening, hello, how'd you do, how you doing? Oh my word, thank you, you are too kind. You're too kind. Stop it. I love it. I really love it. Welcome once again to Hinckley District, past and present live on a Monday night. Yes, we've moved to the Mondays for the summer months, but we will return to Saturday nights in the autumn. So be aware, early autumn, I shall say. But it's lovely to have you here once again. As you can see, chat room already full. I've had Daniel Coburn sitting on my doorstep all afternoon. Took him a cup of tea out earlier on, but he said he'd hang around. So good evening, Daniel. Ian Roberts here as well. Oh my word, and the likes are coming in thick and fast. Remember to like. When you like it, you get a ding, you see. Give me that ding every time. David Blower's in as well. Ian Walker is here with Hey Up Me Ducks. We're all in class and waiting for teacher. Well, I'll let you know when he arrives. Kevin Beasley's here. Hi, Kevin. Good to know you've okay and you've joined us this evening. Mary Blake is here. And Pat Galloway's here with a big Kiwi. Absolutely a good old Kiwi. And another like hits the bell. Come out fighting. It's round 3. Also, hello to John Denny, who's been very busy with his book, I'm reliably informed. John, have you found the publisher yet? And Queen Bee is here with a Kiwi. Welcome all. And the crops are in. Oh, I know. The crops are in as well this evening. Welcome along to Hinckley District past and present. Hope you're all ready for a good haniogram and a good wearing Hinckley. It's all coming up tonight as well of our features as well. Kay Norton's here. Hi, Kay. Oh, my word. And Kevin Beasley says, Carol says good evening to all from Carol and Jane in Lancashire. You see, they're hobnobbing up Lancashire now. You know, it'd be nice to get away sometime. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're having a nice time, girls. Behave yourselves in Lancashire. Yes, never be the same again, I'm sure. Mason Moore's here. And now then, he sent to me, he said, did you like the new Sticky Sisters restaurant in the old Burger King? It has a grand opening today. No, I haven't been anywhere near, mate, and I can't afford takeaway food, and I have to stay here and cook my own. Yes, however, trust it was good, mate. Hello to David Starnborough, the Starnboroughs are here. Good evening, the Starnboroughs, down Ashby Road, they are too. And a very good evening, of course, to Mushroom Man, who is back. Yes. Nice to know you there, Mushroom Man, and you've joined us tonight. In the programme tonight, my word, we have got some good stuff. As I say, we've got Wearing Hinckley, we've also got the anagram, and we've also got a couple of good features, which I know you're going to enjoy tonight. But remember to like and subscribe, so you always get a message when we go live. And to any residents down our way who may have joined us for the first time tonight, right, okay then. So, what can we do? Well, first, I can tell you lots of things. We're very excited because this week, as you know, on Friday will be 100 years of the War Memorial. Oh, that's the DVD. It's the next one. This is it. Yes. And on Friday, 100 years of the unveiling of the Town War Memorial will take place. Everybody's welcome to come along and join us. Hinckley District, past and present, will be there with a list of various organisations and local dignitaries, blah, blah, blah. And all kicks off starts at 11:15 on the day. It's going to be a big day, and we're looking forward to it. And I want to give a special nod of appreciation, firstly to Ian Walker, who has done a hell of a lot of work to ensure that this happens. And don't underestimate just how much the lad has done. So there we go. And also Greg Droach, who's done a great job in also working with Ian, and obviously with our DVD that accompanies this, as you know. Well, you know, it really is superb. The DVD is now available at Jasper's, commemorating 100 years. Get to know the history of this monument, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly fascinating, and you will enjoy this production from Hinckley District, past and present. And it's narrated by Greg Droach, and you will love it, I promise. But I want to plug it like mad because it needs to be done, and like I say, it should be quite a special day, because on the actual day itself, they're going to unveil the memorial again, if you like, and that's going to happen. And there's a couple of other things happening which I'd much rather you come along and see, because it's going to be quite special. And even our good selves, Hinckley District, past and present, I will be laying a wreath on behalf of Hinckley District, past and present. I'm quite honoured to do that. First time I've ever done such a thing, but I think for the group, what we are, what we do, well, I think it's quite appropriate on the day. So looking forward to that. Now, as we go on, let me just do the social night. This is only, it's what, a week and a bit time. If you haven't got your ticket, get in touch with me now. We've still got the 2 tickets left as well. David Blower, don't worry, I've got your tickets here. Please come along, and because it's going to be a super night, and I very much doubt we'll be able to get a repeat visit from these lads, and it's took me ages to get them. Don't miss it. Come along, supporters. We're going to have a whip round for the lads on the night, so they can continue the work at the at Market Bosworth and Shackleton on the battlefield line. So it's going to be really, really good. Really looking forward to that as well. Okay. Once again, remember to like and subscribe, please. And I'd like to say hello to Maureen Harris this evening. Maureen's got in. She said, I couldn't get in last week, but Ray's here to sort me out tonight. Well, there we go. Lovely. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? First of all, for your anagram tonight. Let's give you the anagram. Oh, I know what's going to happen now. It's going to come up the wrong way round. But bear with me a minute, because it always does this to me. Hang on. I always have to go wrong way. I always have to do it this way. Here it comes. There's your anagram question. Diarrhea trouble workstations. Where do we get them from? Ask Jeff Wallace in this one. I've put the clue because I thought this would be helpful. But the actual anagram itself comes from Jeff Wallace, who, as I say, is making some good ones up just lately. And yeah, he's promised me some really, really, really tough ones soon. Anyway, so diarrhea, I'm saying diarrhea, but it's diarrhea trouble workstations. Rearrange that, okay? And it will give you the location of an area somewhere, that's in Hinckley. I don't want to give too much away yet. I want you to work on it a bit. This area we're looking for has been in existence since the 1960s, as far as what it is today. So there you go. Have a little think, rearrange that, and I promise you, you will come up with the appropriate answer. Lovely. Okay, and while that's all happening, Jan Kirby says, hello everyone, I've been talking on the phone to my sister in Horsham. There we go. So Jan, at least you're here tonight. She forgot last week. And Kath Denny says, I am off. We're off to Cornwall on Saturday, so we'll miss that. Oh, Kath, you're referring to Friday. Oh dear, we do these things and everybody clears off on holiday. Is your name Linlow? Is your name Joan Walker? In which case it makes, I totally get it, I know. Lovely. Anyway, and the likes just keep on coming. Look at these tings. I'm running out of tings. I don't know which one's which. So there we go. I've left that on long enough. I think you'll all agree. So, before we get into our first feature this evening, I think we'll do a Where in Hinckley. Because so, if you don't feel you can do the anagram, because some people can't work with words very well, so we give you a nice picture one to work on. And the picture one tonight, I think it's really, really easy. So once again, it's a way of making so everyone feels included in what we do, So, well, I can't do the anagram. Oh, but I know Where in Hinckley. That's the idea of it. We don't make them deliberately hard. So, as you can understand, we just try and make it so it's just fun. And once again, if you know the answer to either the anagram or indeed the Where in Hinckley when I show you, don't put it in the chat room. Just keep it to yourself to the end of the programme. Which reminds me, Dangerous Den's not with us this evening, so if you want to talk about him in the chat room, go ahead, I don't mind. Right, okay then, let me just find the Where in Hinckley. Oh, I nearly clicked the answer straight away there. Here we go. Where are we in Hinckley? I think it's quite easy. Do you not think so? I think it's a doddle. There it is. Where in Hinckley? If you think you know, hold on to that answer. And you indeed could be a winner by the end of the programme. Okay then. Kevin Beasley saying, why doesn't it ding when I press like? Well, it did then, didn't it? Well, basically, what happens is, Mrs. G, actually, I can't see the lights coming in, so Mrs. G is in charge of the bell, okay? Mrs. G is in charge of the bell, and if the mic's live, she'll ting it in, you see. And then when we're probably showing a feature and whatnot, we open the mic so we can ting it in then. So it's not you. You haven't got a faulty plunger. No, you haven't got a faulty plunger. It's there. Trust me, it is. Now then, people complaining. I want a ding. I tell you. So anyway, so Where in Hinckley, and we've got the anagram there. There you go. First couple of things this evening to get you going with. Now then, you all seen, well, I imagine most of you seen the shock and surprise Eurovision at the weekend. I predicted that we'd at least get 12 from Ukraine, and I was right there. I was shocked when France came through with us. I was actually, I was quite numb then. Anyway, but we knew that the Ukraine was going to win. But hey, listen, nice for a change. Absolute nice. About blooming time. Mind you, it's a pretty decent song anyway. Anyway, now then, before we go into our first feature, just in time, Jane Brown and Tim are here. She said, I'd forgotten my password to chat. Jane, a bit of a blonde moment, is it? Don't worry. Lovely. I'm glad you could join us this evening, Jane. And once again, Ian Walker. Oh, we're getting appointments from Mrs. G. Who do you think I am, Ian Walker? Maid of money? No chance. She's not going to appear tonight, I can tell you. No, she's just Actually, weekday appearances are really harder. Trust me, they are. Yeah. So let's get on to a little bit of footage for you. I thought that today we could revisit the other week. We're in Barwell, weren't we? And let's go. Let's put this one out. We haven't seen this one for a little while. It's well worth a repeat. As we go over to Ilshilton, and we'll have another look round Ilshilton, past and present. And you know, that isn't that typical. Isn't it just? It should be there, and it's not. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. I have got something else lined up just in case this particular thing happens. You see, do you not think, isn't this great when you get this sort of thing going on? I'm going to see. Let me just see if I can get it to go. It should, for whatever reason. I just don't know why it's not there. It should. It should definitely be there, and it ain't. Makes me look a right lemon. But there's nothing new there now, is there? Well, I'll tell you what, I was going to do Ilshilton tonight, but instead, another feature which I've got set, and I was going to do this one next week, but if you bear with me, I think tonight, let's enjoy those Leicester trams again. They were so popular, and people have been asking me, would I show it again? So, looks like I'll show it again then, shan't I?
Then we go for a ride on the car, for we know how cozy the tops of the tram cars, and the seats are so small and there's not much to pay. You sit close together and spoon all the way. Many a miss will be missed someday, so riding on top of the car.
The Braunston Hotel was the Narborough Road terminus of the tramway system. A bus pulls in from Braunston Lane or even the new Foss Retail Park, picks up its passengers and sets off for the clock tower. Apart from the shelter that was built in tramway days, there's little to remind us of the time, 55 years ago, when tram enthusiast Stan Eads of Birmingham passed through Leicester on a business trip and was fascinated by the trolley reverser in use here at the Narborough Road terminus, which he filmed with his 16mm camera. There was a reverser at each of the Leicester termini, which saved the conductor turning the trolley by hand. Narborough Road itself, although now a dual carriageway, has changed remarkably little since this tram set off for the Clock Tower and Melton Road in 1934. Filmed by Mr. Forian during the winter of 1930, tramcars pass along Hinckley Road near to the Western Park terminus, which is to the right. The south side of Hinckley Road was still allotments in those days. Trams first came to Leicester on Christmas Eve 1874, when a horse car service was established between the Clock Tower and Belgrave. It carried 16 passengers and competed with the horse bus services which had already been running for some time. The Clock Tower area had already established its now familiar layout, even when these snaps were taken nearly 100 years ago. The horse buses and trams were to provide Leicester with its public transport for the next 30 years, until the tramway system was electrified. The decorations in Gallow Tree Gate include the flags of many countries, but it's not known what occasion this was. In 1876, the Hughes Patent steam tramway engine ran trials. It was the first of its kind and built at the Hughes Foundry at Loughborough, now Brush Electrical Engineering, but it was not deemed successful in Leicester. The decision to electrify and extend the tramway system at a cost of some £650,000 was made in 1901, after the council took control. Its centrepiece was the massive new junction layout around the clock tower itself, said to be one of the most complex in the country. Electric operation commenced on Wednesday the 18th of May 1904. The Civic Party were conveyed by horse car to the tramway power station on Painter Street, now the Charles Keene College, to switch on the electric power. then riding the new electric cars the short distance to Abbey Park Road Depot to perform the actual opening ceremony. After touring the system in 3 suitably decorated tramcars, the Civic Party alighted outside London Road Station and retired to the Mayor's Parlour, and the trams were handed over to the people of Leicester to joyride free of charge for the rest of the day. The trams themselves were open toppers, built by the Dick Kerr Company of Preston, and were handsome machines for their time. To service and maintain the fleet of electric cars, a new depot and later workshops were built on Abbey Park Road, opposite the park itself. They were equipped with every modern facility to carry out major body, electrical and truck repairs. As the volume of traffic on the roads increased, the occasional mishap involving a tram was inevitable. In this incident opposite Spinney Hill Park, the horse probably escaped without injury, but the delivery van was well and truly sandwiched between the trams. The tram on the right has an enclosed top but open balconies. All of the cars were eventually rebuilt totally enclosed. In the city itself, a new road was being built to bypass the clock tower. Dubbed the $1 Million Highway, Charles Street represented the pinnacle of forward thinking in a progressive Leicester when these scenes were shot by Mr. Horace Harold with his 9.5mm camera in 1935. The tram is in Humberston Gate, passing Lee's Corner, the municipal offices in Rutland Street, and the new police headquarters built at the London Road end. 2 Midland Red buses pass by. Then, speeding out of Granby Street, a tram literally bounces across the Charles Street junction and up London Road. Epic House, home of Radio Leicester, now stands on the site of the horse repository. Today, Charles Street copes remarkably well with the massive volume of 1980s traffic, leaving us to reflect that perhaps there was considerable wisdom in those decisions made nearly 60 years ago. Returning to 1935 again, an unknown 9.5mm film record shows the clock tower covered in scaffolding and girders arriving for the new Lewis's store under construction in Humberston Gate. When Lewis's opened in 1936, the public were allowed onto the roof, and Bob Sarson recorded these scenes of the trams and traffic in Humberston Gate, Charles Street and the clock tower. Lewis's rooftop restaurant was a popular venue for many years. It was the practice of tramway companies to decorate their cars for local or state occasions. Celebrating the coronation of King George V in 1911, this highly decorated open topper is passing the clock tower into Belgrave Gate. Car number 50, one of the last of the open toppers, was illuminated with more than 2,000 coloured lights in the 1920s. Cars were also decorated for the Leicester pageant in 1932. In the weeks leading up to the Silver Jubilee celebrations of King George V and Queen Mary in 1935, the whole of Leicester city centre was transformed with flags and bunting. 4 trams and at least 1 bus were lavishly decorated when Horace Harold, Frank Atfield and an unknown cameraman all filmed the scene. Market Street, Horsefair Street and the Town Hall itself were generously decorated. And Beaver Street looked as it had never looked before. In Humberston Gate, the tramway officers declared, "Long live the King." Westby's well-known shop was next door. Decorated car number 6 makes its way down Gallow Tree Gate and around the clock tower. At this time in May, George Formby was at the Opera House in Silver Street with his 1935 All-Star Roadshow. He also visited the Mayfield Road Service Station near Victoria Park, promoting the sale of new motor cars. Tons of Money, a comedy farce, was playing at the Theatre Royal, and Laurel and Hardy films were being screened at the Palace. At the Picture House on Granby Street, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers starred in The Gay Divorcee. Morgan Squires were offering free to every customer who spent 15 shillings or more a real Shelley butter dish as a Jubilee gift. A new semi on the Fletcher estate at Gypsy Lane cost £445. The Leicester Building Society offered home loans at 4.5% interest. Sport, and the end of the football season was in sight. There was a note of gloom at Filbert Street as Leicester City were relegated to the 2nd Division. Over the Jubilee weekend, the Evening Mail reported a bizarre accident between a car and a motorcycle. The car hit a tram post, bringing down its spiked top, which pierced the roof, killing its lady driver. Monday the 6th of May 1935 was Jubilee Day itself, and both city and county children were given the day off school. Local celebrations took place on Victoria Park with a 21-gun Royal Salute, and in the evening was the lighting of a giant bonfire beacon by the Lord Mayor. The beacon was one of 2,000 countrywide, which spread the glad tidings throughout the nation. The decorated double-decker bus looks slightly odd as it turns into Newark Street in opposition to today's traffic flow. At 10:25 in the morning, the military parade left the magazine barracks, led by Colonel A. Hawkyard of the Leicestershire Yeomanry, followed by the 239th Battery of the Royal Artillery, the 4th Battalion Leicestershire Regiment, the Leicestershire Royal Defence Corps, and members of the Old Contemptibles and the British Legion. They marched up Newark Street, turning into Welford Road and Regent Road to Victoria Park, watched by some 50,000 people. At 11 o'clock, the royal salute of 21 guns was fired at 10-second intervals. Hardly had the last gun gone off when a large crowd broke loose souvenir hunting. At 11:40, the parade left Victoria Park and marched down London Road and Granby Street, back to the magazine. Total chaos reigned as cars, buses, trams and people were jammed solid for some time afterwards. October 1936, and at the Granby Halls was a trade exhibition of textile machinery with many local firms participating. The traffic flow at the junction outside seems strange today. A double-decker bus and a Freeman, Hardy and Willis lorry pass by and make their way up Welford Road towards Welford Place. In 1938, plans were first mooted at the town hall to replace the trams, but the system was in good condition and this aim was declared as long-term. Still in 1938, a smart new colour scheme was adopted when the trams appeared in all-over maroon with cream window frames. Back to Gallowtree Gate again, as a tram in the new colours, followed by one in the old, pass Woolworths. The second tram carries an advert for Symington's of Market Harbour. The camera pans round to the market approach. A ride in a motorcar down Gallowtree Gate approaches a traffic jam around the tower, no doubt caused by a tram loading in High Street. A second look at the sequence, shot by an unknown cameraman, shows the traffic policeman hanging up his jacket. At Woolworths, established at that site for over 50 years, nothing cost over sixpence. Today, it's British home stores, whilst W.H. Smith's and Dixon's are on the left. Boots and Marks and Spencer on the right, as we journey down Gallowtree Gate again, just before the outbreak of war. During the Second World War, the trams took on a more important role as motor fuel was short. Cars were blacked out, and the legend Leicester was removed from the sides to confuse the enemy, should any turn up, heaven forbid. Women were taken on as conductors again, as they had been in the First War. This group are being shown how to change a point by Inspector Ted Stanion. Car number 168 was so heavily disguised in 1942, promoting city links with HMS Renown, that it hardly looked like a tram at all. And this tram, passing London Road Station, promoted the county salvage drive. After the war, things were changing on the railways too. Henry Bates filmed the platforms at London Road looking much as they always had, but the government had nationalised the railways, and instead of LMS, British Railways was appearing on the locomotives. Hillcrest, the old workhouse, is visible as the train stands under Swain Street Bridge before departing for Glasgow. On the streets above, the trams were becoming increasingly out of place amongst the post-war traffic, and plans were drawn up to replace them quickly. Wartime neglect and the poor state of the tracks was the public reasoning. True, the system was run down, but confidentially, the tramcar now reflected a past era, and there was no place for the trams in a modern post-war Leicester. 6 months before final closure in 1949, a group of enthusiasts from the Southern Counties Touring Society visited Leicester and toured the system in a special car. The special car was outside the station when the group arrived and, filmed by one of their members, departed up London Road, travelling along Evington Road and East Park Road to the Trocadero terminus at Humberston. Returning to the town along Uppingham Road, the group had lunch at the central depot in Humberston Gate, then travelled to Abbey Park Road for a tour of the depot and workshops. The last day of tramway operation was on Wednesday, the 9th of November, 1949. It was an appalling day, the weather somehow reflecting the sombre occasion. Filmmaker Bernard Bates shot the changeover from trams to buses, and these scenes shot immediately prior to closure remain unique as the only known colour film footage of Leicester's trams. The Humberston terminus at the Trocadero again, with car number 38 returning to town along Uppingham Road after its conductor had punched his time card. Car number 58 was suitably decorated to be the final tram, leaving Humberston Gate at 3:20 in the afternoon for Humberston. Upon its return, it went back into the central depot to pick up the Civic Party, re-emerging for the very last time into Humberston Gate in front of the crowds who'd gathered there to see it. Mrs. Bates was sent into town to film that final departure, as her husband was at work. After pausing at the clock tower, it turned into Belgrave Gate, arriving back at Abbey Park Road at 4:20. An inspector hung the final death knell onto the Humberston Gate tram shelter, and Leicester had said goodbye to its trams. Special tracks had been laid at the back of Abbey Park Road depot, and the remaining trams were quickly disposed of, though some had earlier been sold to farmers and the like for just £5 each. The last tram to be broken up at Abbey Park Road in April 1950 was car number 36, which the Southern Counties Touring Society had ridden on nearly a year before. Back in the city, a fleet of 160 new buses, purchased during the previous 3 years, replaced the trams, and the decision was taken to remove all tram tracks within half a mile of the clock tower. This was to some extent obligatory, as the Tramways Act of 1870 stated that in the event of abandonment, the road must be left in the condition that it was found prior to the construction of the tramway. Under the circumstances, the Transport Department contributed £100,000 to the Highways Department to help meet the costs of remaking the roads. Traffic chaos was extensive as the magnitude of the work became apparent. On London Road outside the station, the road was finally being remade. The flexo-mastic road surface was laid by hand, and these workers were reckoned to be amongst the highest paid in the country at the time. When the job was complete, virtually all trace of the tramway era had gone. Some 10 years later, in 1960, car number 76 was found in a village near Snaith in Yorkshire, where it had been used as a cricket pavilion. It was purchased by members of the then newly formed Tramway Museum Society, and now, beautifully restored, is on permanent display at the National Tramway Museum in Cryche, Derbyshire. Perhaps the last tram of all, though, is car number 31, one of several acquired by a Leicestershire farmer in 1947. It was one of the original cars supplied in 1904 and has stood here on the farm for almost as many years as it ran in service, testament to the quality of its construction. Let's hope that one day it can be returned to the city it so loyally served.
You jump on the car when the journey begins and make for the first vacancy. For all other people you don't care to fin, as long as your comfort's complete. And when the conductor comes up for his fare, he punches your ticket, then goes, and tips you a wink as he pops down the stairs, like an overgrown cupid in blow. As we go for a ride on the car, for we know how to see the top of the tram, and the seats are so small and there's not much to pay. You sit close together and spoon all the way. Many a miss will be missed someday through riding on top of the top.
Isn't that great? I love it. I mean, that's next week's programme today. That wasn't due to be shown till next week. But you got it a week early. So there you go. Technical issues here at HDPP Towers. But I've got to sort out why we should have been looking at Earl Shilton. But we'll do that next week. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So how are you doing with the anagram and the where in Hinckley? Let's go to them and see. First of all, where in Hinckley? This is where we are in Hinckley. It is easy, I know. But I'll let you have another go. I could have made it even harder, but I've left a few little clues in there, actually. But there you have it. That's where in Hinckley. If you know where it is, keep it to yourself. Don't tell anybody. Wait till we ask you to put it in. Yeah, okay, lovely. That was great. Right, okay then. Now, and also we've got now, I better just clear this up on the old anagram as well. So in the anagram, let me explain what's going on. Right then. Right, the anagram, diarrhea, trouble, workstations. Yeah. Now, the clue I've put, this is not, to be fair, this is not Jeff's clue. It was something I put in. A long lost pub at this location. Well, actually, it was very, very close by. And if it was there today, it would be most welcome on this work site. I thought it was a reasonable clue, but Mrs. G's chewed me ear. And she said, well, it sounds like you're looking for a pub, doesn't it? I said, no. Anyway, so that's why I put in the chat room, we're not looking for the name of the pub, but the name of the pub helps you identify where the location is. Will that be... Now, I'm getting the nod of approval now. So, diarrhea, trouble, workstations. There was a long lost pub at this location, which would today be very welcome on this work site. You see, I'm giving it to you now on a platter. I mean, really, there you go. So have a go at the anagram. It's a good little clue there. And in the meantime, lots of people saying how much they enjoyed that little film. Kath Denny says, I love the trams and Leicester. John Denny, oh yes, they're on about the Aussie tram that's in Birmingham with David Blow. Well, yes, apparently there's a pink one called that. I don't know. Last time I went on a tram, actually, it was really, really nice because I was down at the Boundary Hotel, and at the good evening Boundary Hotel, because I know they watch. They don't comment, but they watch. Last time was, I think, a couple of years ago when we was down at the Boundary Hotel, and we went to Seaton on the tramway, and that was great, really good. Super day down there, well worth a visit if you're into your trams. It really, really is a super little place to go, yeah. Now then, meanwhile, as you can see in the chat room, Queen Bee got the anagram. You see, I told you I was giving it all away. I told him if I told him to... She just looked at me and said, So there we go. Anyway, but lots of people are enjoying that film. Like I say, we should have been showing that next week, but my Earl Shilton film wouldn't work, and I was trying while that was on. It was not having it, I tell you. Maureen Harris says, glad you had technical problems, Paul. I thought it was only me that had them. No, we have them here. They've settled down a lot, touch some wood quickly, but we still do get the odd glitch every now and again. So there we go. Just a reminder, first of all, as I say, about Friday, everybody welcome at the War Memorial that can be there. Please come along. It's going to be a very special day, like a rededication of the memorial. We're going to unveil it again. We're trying to replicate what happened exactly 100 years ago to the day. So that in itself is special. So you've seen pictures on Hinckley District past and present before of the flag, and if you bought the DVD, which I hope you have, you'll see the picture of the War Memorial with the big Union Jack on, and the dignitaries there. We'll want to try and sort of recreate that, in the modern day. So the flag will be back in front of those very brave names. And as I say, on Friday, you can experience it and say, you were there what a privilege to be there 100 years ago to the day when you're going to be there. So in the future, another 50, 70, 100 years hence, when we are elsewhere, they'll be looking back and see how we commemorated it, that way. So there it is. Now then, Jan Kirby saying, what time, Paul? It's 10:45 is the start of the service, Jan. But I would advise you get there before 10:30, actually. I really, really would. Because I think it's going to be quite busy. Let's put it that way. Anyway. Meanwhile, Jane Brown down there has just put, well, I have no idea about either. I thought she put, I've got no IKEA. Same here, we've got no IKEA in this house, I tell you. In the background then. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Is that right? Was it? Oh no, it must have been my foot. Well, so anyway, so let me just do it one more time, then very, very quickly, because then we'll move on and have a little nosy this evening. First of all, the anagram, diarrhea trouble workstations, okay, and a long-lost pub very, very, very close to this location would be welcome today on this site. Now, the pub gives you part of the name of the area we're looking for. That's it. And if you've been looking in on the chat room, it's been almost given away, really, but there you go. So there we go. And of course, as I say, not only but also the where in Hinckley. Oh, come on, Jane, you must know that. Everybody knows that curved roof. Except you, obviously. There it is, I can assure you, right in the middle of the town. But listen, I'm not saying no more because I shall give it away. And then people say, Paul, don't give it away. Anyway, Ian Walker, because Ian's worked very hard for this thing for this event on Friday. He's just put in the chat room. And as you can probably very well see there, busy but good. I'm excited and nervous all at the same time. Listen, after it's all over, go to the pub. That's the best knowledge, the best advice. I'm sure you will with your friends from the Legion and stuff. Go down and have a well-deserved drink. That's what I would say. Now, Daniel Coburn, I've got the where in Hinckley, but not the anagram. Oh, I can't help you no more, mate. There you go. Now, listen, it's nosy time. Yes, and Mr. Picker messaged me earlier on saying, Paul, I haven't had a chance to do a nosy, although he's out tonight doing one, apparently. So we will have a new nosy for our next broadcast next Monday. However, tonight I've had to go into the archives and rabbit around to find something which I think, we haven't seen that one for a while from Mr. Noser. So, if you've already, and everybody sitting around waiting steadily and patiently, because even Mr. Picker can't make tonight because he's out doing his nosy. And also, as I say, Dangerous Den is not here tonight. So if you want to talk about Den, here, because did he ever tell you that he has an engagement party at the Crown Hotel in Castle Street? No, you say, no, I know, you see. Anyway, let's move on. Mr. Nosy's gonna make an entrance, and let's sit back and enjoy this evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is Mr. Nosy himself, Steve Picker.
Right then, so who's up for a mini mooch? I know I am. Let's go and have a nosy. Right then, so for today's video, I took the very short journey from my house in Colville and I travelled up to the village of Swannington, and just between Swannington and the village of Peggs Green there is a roundabout that you can just see on the map there on the Loughborough Road, and more or less beneath that roundabout there is a tunnel called the Calorton Tunnel that was part of the Calorton Railway that eventually connects on to the Swannington Incline. Right, so now we've zoomed in and you can quite clearly see running parallel with the road there to the right is the Calorton railway line. Very overgrown now, of course. It really is like Jurassic Park down there, as you'll see shortly. But just to the north of that, we've got the yellow blob there, the little yellow dot. That marks out what bit of the Calorton tunnel that's left that I actually found today. And here is the Calorton Tunnel back in its heyday. And of course here, there's no roundabout because, well, they wouldn't have needed them. There weren't no cars back then. Just a simple crossroad that have had horses and carts, or as the locals would say, oss and carts travelling backwards and forwards from Ashby to Loughborough on that Loughborough Road. But you know, you drive past here and over this tunnel every day, and unless you know about the tunnel, you would not know you was driving over it, would you? But an absolutely brilliant piece of history. And as you're going to find out in a minute, there isn't an awful lot of this tunnel left anymore, but I was absolutely determined to find even the smallest crumb to go and find today. Even if it was just half a brick, I was going to find it today, that's for sure. Right then, so usually I'm Indiana Jones in it, aren't I? Which I pretty much am again today, to be honest with you. But we're also Marty Pello in it today, because it's wet, wet, wet. It's bloody peeing it down, isn't it? But never mind. So what we're doing down here, just at the top end of Swannington near Peggs Green, and of course you've got the former Calorton Railway that used to run through here, and there's actually a tunnel that pretty much goes underneath the roundabout at Peggs Green there, between there and Swannington. And I have looked this up on the internet, and we're actually walking on the Calorton Railway track bed now. This went in that direction to the Swannington incline, which I've already made a video on before, haven't I? And from what I've looked at, this has now all been filled in, but I'm just hoping there are some, you know, remnants of it still left. So hopefully, fingers crossed. First time I've ever been down here, so let's go and have a nosy anyway. As per usual, I've got my work cut out, look. I really hope there's something there to see, you know, a bit of brickwork or something, so this is worth it. But yeah, we're Indiana Jones in it again. Never mind, but ooh, hopefully there'll be something interesting to see here. We hope. Wowzers, look at this. Battling on. Yeah, proper Amazon rainforest stuff this is. Jesus. I hope there's something here to look at. I may end up very disappointed because I've looked into this and apparently it is completely filled in according to form, but you never know. Do you know what, this is, oh shit. Do you know what, this is by far the most extreme explore I have done so far, and it's one of them where I hope I'm wrong, but I've got a feeling I'm going to end up very, very disappointed. I know it's been pretty much filled in, this Calorton tunnel, but you never know, there might be some brickwork there. Even if I just find one brick, that's all I want. I mean, I've had to kind of walk up the embankment because the track bed, you've got no chance down there. I mean, just look at this. This is proper Jurassic World stuff down here. Hopefully there's no velociraptors hiding about in the undergrowth, do you know what I mean? I really don't need any of that on a Friday. But the great news is here. This is the track bed here. You wouldn't think so, would you? But this is the track bed. So in this vicinity here is where the entrance to the Calorton tunnel would have been. There's got to be some evidence of it here. I know it's filled in, it's got to be here. I haven't just put myself through all that for nothing. Look what I found, you see. Eat who dares wins and all that. This is the Calorton tunnel, goes underneath the roundabout between Peggs Green and Swannington there. This would have been 480 yards long. It was opened in 1835, and I think it closed in 1877. But I told you, I knew there'd have to be something here. Yes, all this has been completely backfilled, but that is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful stonework, look. Beautiful stone arch. That is absolutely amazing. So happy I came down here now. But yeah, sadly, this is all that's left down here. And I don't know if you'll see this, but before all this was filled in, they obviously at the entrance to this tunnel, they actually put brickwork up inside to block it off before they actually put all this dirt in front of it. You can't quite see, I think you can just make out the brickwork there. But yeah, incredible. Right then, so what I think I'm going to do, now we've found the Clawton tunnel, I'm not going to go the other side to see if I can find that. I think that is on proper private land. So I'm going to leave that side for now anyway. But this railway line actually ran past the village of Newbold, and there's another tunnel there, and you can actually get in that one. And so I think what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go down there and show you that, because again, that is one of the oldest railway tunnels in the world. So I'm wet, I might as well get even more wet, hadn't I? Let's do it. And wowzers, just look at this lot out here, eh? It's absolutely tipping it down. All we need now is the cats and dogs. And you know, I always wondered where that came from. It's raining cats and dogs. You know, why do we say daft things like that? There's got to be a reason for it, isn't there? But being British, we love a good moan about the weather. We're not happy when it's too hot in the summer, and we're not happy when it's tipping it down in the winter. Give me the summer heat any day of the week. But we're only happy unless we're unhappy over here, aren't we? I'm only joking. It is nice sitting in this warm car though. But what I think we'll do, we'll go and find the Newbold tunnel, which is about 3 miles from here. But I'm so pleased that I went trepsing through Jurassic World over there just to find. I actually found more than I thought I was going to find, if I'm honest with you. But it was worth it. I'm scratched up now with the brambles. And you know me, usually I'll film myself walking past the camera on these videos. But there was absolutely no way that I was doing that today down there. You know, really is Amazon rainforest stuff down there. But anyway, I'll stop me chitter chatter and I'll get myself over Newbold. So let's go and get soaked. Well, you won't. You can sit there with a nice cup of tea, can't you? But I'll go and get soaked then. Alrighty then, so now we've taken the short journey from where we've just been looking at the Clawton tunnel to the village of Newbold, or as it's also known as, Newbold Clawton, to take a look and have a little nosy at the Newbold tunnel. And just between those two yellow marker points there is where our wonderfully historical Newbold tunnel resides. And here's Newbold Tunnel back in the late 1800s. I think this is around about, roughly about 1890, 1895, somewhere in that ballpark anyway. Right then, so here I am back on the Clawton railway track bed again, searching for the Newbold Tunnel. And it's not quite Indiana Jones territory just yet. We've got a little bit of it here. But in fact, I can actually see the tunnel just up ahead. So next time you see me, we should be there. Right then, so here we are, the Newbold Tunnel. Shall we go and have a nose there? Yeah, I think so. Come on. Do you know what? You lot have certainly got your money's worth out of me today, let me tell you. Some of the things I've put myself through just to get down to this one, and especially the first one. Jesus, that was difficult. But yeah. This is Robert Stevenson's Newbold Tunnel, and my mate Ernie came down here and did a video a while back, and he summed it up perfectly when he said, you know what, this isn't the longest tunnel in the world, and it's not the most impressive in the world, but it is one of the oldest railway tunnels in the world, and for me, that makes it worth being down here, doesn't it? Do you know what, this might have once been a railway tunnel, but it's more like a culvert these days, as you can hear. It's a good job I brought the wellies. So there you go, the Newbold Tunnel, built around 1835-ish, somewhere around there. I'm not quite sure on the date, but yeah, it's actually in really good condition, this is. I mean, just here, as you can see, it's lost a bit of brickwork just there where it started falling away, but it's actually in really good condition. Now, I brought my torch with me today, but, well, I might as well have brought a candle because it's useless. I could do with one of those really powerful ones, to be honest with you. But yeah, this is another one ticked off the list. It's a really horrible day, but I'm really glad I've come down here and done a bit of exploring. It's been worth it. But tell you what, I'm looking forward to a nice hot shower. I can tell you that much right now. Right, so we've got a ruined former platelayer's hut or ganger's hut here. I assume that's what it'd be. But it's right next to the line, so I imagine that it is one or the other. But yeah, very interesting. So I've got to get out of here now. It's proper rainy season setting and it's really cold as well. But really glad I've come down here. This has been probably as extreme as it gets for me, to be honest with you. The other ones that I've done have been relatively really easy, to be honest, compared to this. And it makes it more difficult because it's the winter and we've had a lot of rain. So it's really, really boggy down here, as you can see. But I'm so looking forward to a nice warm brew, I'll tell you that much. Well, we've come to the end of today's little exploration. I hope you've enjoyed it and enjoyed watching me get wet, soaked to the bone and all that. And to add insult to injury, the Newbold tunnel that I've just looked at, I made it very difficult for myself to actually get down to it. And towards the end of exploring the tunnel, I actually found someone's actually tied a rope to a tree between two trees and knotted it so you've got somewhere to hang on to it, so you can pull yourself up the embankment, and it comes out right at the side of a kids park in the village of Newbold. So I wish I'd have known about that straight away. But I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. I've had a laugh with myself and enjoyed it, you know. And it's just a shame the footage in the actual tunnel isn't going to come out that well because, like I say, my torch is naff. I may as well have brought a candle down here with me, do you know what I mean? But anyway, if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and share it if it floats your boat. And I'll see you at the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
And there's our Steve been and gone on a vintage nosy there, and whilst that was playing, Steve has joined us in the chat room as well. So if you want to say hi to Steve, and I know you ladies love a bit of Steve, there he is. He's in the chat room now, and as you can see, only about halfway, just about here, look, yeah, just about there is where he came in. And so if you want to say hello to Steve, you know, there you go. And like I say, I am hoping that before, between August, September, something like that, we'll get Steve in to come to one of our social nights and do a talk to you, have a live nose there, and talk about some of his exploits and explorations. And also, as I say, before we give you the answer to the anagram and the where in Hinckley, talking of social nights, don't forget this is a week Wednesday, so this is going to be brilliant. Get down to it. Come along. Have a great night with us. It's a little. Well, I say it's ticket only. We've issued free tickets, so we know how many people are coming. But if you want to come, there is still one or two places left, and this is going to be. I'm really, really looking forward to this day, because for the simple reason I don't think we'll get these lads back anytime soon. Because I've really had to, get onto them to come and whatnot, and it's been difficult, but they're coming. But don't miss it. If you miss it, I'm afraid you'll be missing something special. I mentioned tickets, by the way, as well, and David Blower is going to. We are just not worthy. David's going to come and see us as well. Thank you, David. Got your tickets here. Look, I've got to put those safely and give them to you on the night. Okay. If everyone brings their tickets as well, you'll see why. Let's say the tickets are free, but it is just so we can get an idea of how many people are coming. But bring your tickets on the night. All will be explained. You'll see why anyway. Right then. Okay. Let's catch up with thing. And also, give you the answer to, first of all, let's get you the where in Hinckley. Anybody first? Let's see. So I'll just put it out there first. First of all, in where in Hinckley this evening, we've been asking that question, whereabouts is it? So if you want to put your answer in the chat room now, if you know where it is, you can put it. Yeah, just at Mrs. G show. Yes, she always likes to get in first. She won't type it, but she does flash straight in front of me like that. So if you know where in Hinckley that is, put it in the chat room. I'm just treading a little bit of water here. The same amount of water that poor Steve was getting in that last Explore. If you know where in Hinckley it is, pop it in the chat room now. I'm just waiting. Yeah, now then, here it comes. It's all coming, right? Yeah. Maureen Harris is the first one. She's called it Flames Grill, the Horse Fair, Hinckley. And Jeff Wallace, near Tiffany's, the Horse Fair. Yeah, you're right. And anybody else that says the Horse Fair, you would be correct. In fact, yes. Dave B, it's the back of Bill's mother's. Well, it does look a bit grey there, doesn't it? Oh dear, lovely. So yeah, let's give you here's the answer. Look, yes, we're in the Horse Fair. Look, Flames Grill as it is now. Now, when I was a youngster, this was a laundrette. Yes, we used to have quite one or two in Hinckley. And bless her, before the one opened at the top of Castle Street all those years ago, my mum used to trundle down here with two great big trolleys full of family washing to do in this very building. So I do remember that. So yes, we're in the Horse Fair in Hinckley. Yeah. Right, okay. Oh, as Daniel Kirby said, opposite Old Elements. Yes, it is, absolutely. Good, well done. Oh, yes, Jan Kirby said, yes, it was a laundrette, it was. You went in there and you seen the row of Bendix, but you could get cream for it. Anyway, right, so that is where in Hinckley. Now, let's see how we are doing with, oh, yes, how are we doing with the anagram is what we're going to ask myself and ask you people next. So, yes, put your anagram answer in the screen now, because we will quickly get that done as well. So let's see how many people have actually got it right. We'll just wait. We have to wait for the small delay, about 20 to 30 seconds before it comes. Oh, here it comes. Oh, yes. John Denny, David B. Absolutely correct. We're looking for the Harrowbrook Industrial Estate. Just to explain, I say that's what we were looking for. And the clue I was giving you, saying that the pub that stood almost a stone throw from it also gave part of its name to the area in question, and that was the pub called the Harrow. Now the Harrow was right there on the A5 at the junction. Okay, and so as you can appreciate, you could throw a stone, or you could do, or if you're like us boys back at school, you know what you could do from there to there. Anyway, also interestingly enough, the old Harrow Inn, because you had the Harrow Brook, because obviously the Harrow Brook was there, but the Harrow Inn, because it was renowned for fisticuff, boxing, pugilistic sort of things. And of course, it was on the border, so very convenient, because if the Hinckley lot come down, you jumped over into Warwickshire and vice versa. It all worked, and you hear these stories, But anyway, there. So yeah, you see, Jan Kirby asking the question. Oh, the Harrow, not heard of that one. Well, I can assure you, the Harrow Inn was there definitely, and it's Harrow with a H, not an A, because you know what you Hinckley people are like. Don't pronounce H's, so the Harrow. See, if it was down near London, it'd be the Harrow. It's the Harrow Inn. The Harrow Inn. Anyway, yeah. Yes, and now then, actually, no, Kevin Beasley said, I thought the lime kilns was the Harrow. No, that was once the plough, wasn't it? Wasn't it, if I remember right? Just a minute. Oh, you're confusing me now. No, I can assure you, I'll have to get my notes out now, Kevin, and I'll put that right. I'm sure you'll find it was the plough. Wasn't it called the plough? That? Oh, you've really got me thinking now. We shouldn't have done that, because I like to be right with my facts. Anyway, there we go. Kevin, I promise, after I finish the broadcast, I will post that and just double check it for you, because in one of my pictures I've got of it when it was before a picture of it before it became the lime kilns, and it says the name. I'm sure it's. Oh, anyway. Doesn't matter. Let's move on quickly because I'm waffling along here. Anyway, so that is basically what we're talking about at the now. Yes, yeah, John, the lime kilns was the plough. Thank you, John. It saves me. So there you are, Kevin. Thank you, John. Much appreciated. Yes, I thought I was right, but I thought I'll have to triple check my notes. Got big piles of stuff here. Okay, so it's been a great little broadcast. Let me just remind you once again about Friday. Come along and share a very special experience of exactly to the day 100 years ago, the unveiling of the Town Wall Memorial. Starts at 10:45. I would suggest you get there before 10:30 personally. And then, and afterwards, as Ian's put there in the chat room, if you want to join some of the participants, they're going into Jasper's for tea and coffee. So if you want to go in there and have a nice hot cup of tea, coffee, Jasper's will be the place you can go. And I think later on they'll be down the pub, and you can't blame them for that. So it's going to be a special day, as I say. On behalf of all the members of Hinckley District, past and present, I have the honour of laying a wreath on behalf of you all to our very brave soldiers. And I once again, I don't apologise for plugging the DVD which Greg Droach and myself have made. It's 40 minutes long. You will learn so much about it. And I know Jan says she's watched it, thinks it's great. But please, you can get your DVD from Jasper's while you're in there. Get it. And better still, buy the two together, the roll call and the 100 years of the memorial, because they really do complement each other. And certainly a great keepsake for future generations to appreciate. And it's, like I said, I can't emphasise it enough. Go and buy it. And of course, in the same breath, you help local good causes. Everyone is a winner, to quote the hot chocolate song in the 1970s. There we go. Listen, I'm going to go now because I think I've said more than enough tonight. But if you can join me next Monday night ahead of our social night, because all being well, what we'll do Monday night, we've certainly we should have some footage from the Friday preview, the previous event. So from whatever we do on Friday, we'll try and get that included in the programme for next Monday evening, so you'll be able to see it. That'll be great as well. Anyway, thank you all. Thank you so much for spending your Monday evening with me, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it made you laugh. Well, after films wouldn't work, what you expect. And look forward to seeing you all very soon here. Remember to keep it live, to keep it HDPP, and all what we normally do. Until then, take care. Bye. Oh, hello. Well, fancy seeing you. What are you doing here? Haven't you lot got homes to go to? Oh, you are home. This is the part of the programme we never ever talk about. And who would? Let's be facing it. Who would? No, this is part of the programme which I always try to send you off to bed. If you've got your hot cocoa or maybe you've got a little drink there, and something to send you to bed with a little giggle, a little of a warm hug to send you to bed with. This is the part of the programme I don't talk about because it's full of little dad jokes and one-line puns. And I love one-line puns. Let's see what you think to tonight's little effort, because I'm absolutely sure you're going to love them, actually, because there is some pretty good ones. So, as they used to say on the wireless, are you sitting comfortably? Here we go then. What do you call a pile of cats? A meowing. A meowing. Just been told to get on with it. All right then, a meowing. That's not bad. The Lion King is full of hidden symbolism. My granddaughter would love that in a few years' time. I'm sure she will. I fired a guy I hired to mow my lawn. He just didn't cut it. And you know what I say, don't you? Becoming a vegetarian is a mistake. Mistake. Actually, I'm getting some funny looks from Mrs. G to say, is that all you're doing? Is that all you're doing? Yes, I know. Okay, then. A guy jumped off a Paris bridge. He was insane. You say the river's... No. I grilled a chicken for over an hour. She still wouldn't tell me why she crossed the road. This next one, think about it. Dad, are we pyromaniacs? Yes, we are, son. Yes, we are, son. Arson. I tried to find a pun about carpentry, but nothing would work. Would work. I'm just wondering whether maybe I should quit there. I don't know, but there was a couple of good ones on this next one, actually, to be totally honest. Are you ready? A couple more then. Police go to riots early to beat the crowd. That's a good one. And finally, before the crowbar was invented, the crows drank at home. Love it. There'll be more next week. You've been warned. There'll be more next week. I always like to leave you with the hiccups as well. Okay, hiccup. Yes. Until next Monday, keep it live, keep it HDPP. See you then, and hopefully see you Friday down at the War Memorial. Ta-da.